Sweep the leg.
What is happening, good people of YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're back here, Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. We are starting episode 2 off with a bang. And that bang is the sound of us moving this Volkswagen GTI Rabbit thing into the workshop. In the last episode, we started our garage here. Route 66 Auto, there it is on the sign. There's Route 66 right out there. We got our phone booth over there. Nobody's cleaned up the trash around it yet, and that's fine. But we did a couple jobs, made some money, and now we have this story mission car project to do. We're going to do that in today's episode, and we're going to tackle this little side job here with this Volkswagen thing. So let's go ahead, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, first things first, going into examination mode, we are going to examine the entire car. Get that free experience. I mean, it's free. Why wouldn't you get it? Moving over here, front suspension, get a couple points. All right, taking a look at the engine now. 13 points available there. Tell you what, after looking at this car, we're going to be halfway to level 3, and that's exciting. You got to check the fuse box, couple points there, the air intake. It's always a couple points there. And then we come around to the side. You gotta look at that exhaust. Sometimes the drivetrain has a couple points. Now we work towards the rear. Got 11 points for the main suspension, and then we'll go to each tire and look at the suspension parts there and get a few more points. All right, last section, this rear right side. Let's take a look at these suspension parts. And look at this, our experience. We are up over 150 experience. And that's awesome. So we're done with this. Let's go ahead and exit out, go back to normal mode, and let's move this car into the garage. Oh, here it is. Man, what a cool car. Straight from the 80s, little Volkswagen Rabbit GTI thing. And man, this is awesome. I love me a good hot hatch. And this is, you know, the Icons, one of the groundbreaking hot hatches. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. Is this a groundbreaking hot hatch? All right, here it is. The game calls this a 1983 Emden Jaeger, kind of like Jägermeister. Whoa, my God. Don't say that word. 195,000 miles on it. Man, this thing weighs less than 2,000 pounds. What a fun little car this would be to rip around the streets. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure you are. Factory power, 99 horsepower. Wow, what a rocket. 117 foot-pounds of torque. Lots of engine swap options here. And here's what we got to do. Inner tie rod, outer tie rod, and a sway bar rear end link. And I tell you what, we're going to mark all these so they appear in blue. And let's get right to it. All right, another thing I like to do is I like to clear out the shopping list whenever I start a new project. It makes it less confusing. And I believe for this project, we're going to need to get underneath the car. So let's go ahead and lift it up in the air. Up, and away. All right, taking a look at the suspension. Here's a blue part right here. There it is. It's the outer tie rod. There is the outer and the inner tie rods connected. You can see both of them a little bit rusty. Definitely going to need to be replaced. But the first thing we got to do is take this tire off. I always forget to take these tires off. All right, here we go. Unscrewing the nuts. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, every episode we're going to have a stuck nut. Hey, I put a little lube on it, we'll be fine. All right, now that the wheel is off, we can replace these parts. Let's go ahead and add them to the shopping list. And we're going to start with the outer tie rod. We'll take this off. Now we're going to take off the inner tie rod. And right from here, it would be nice to go to our tablet, but we do not have that unlocked yet. It's one of the things we're probably going to purchase here, because it makes a lot of sense to have it. That way we don't have to keep walking over to our computer. But for right now, we're in the computer. Let's go ahead and buy the outer tie rod, 21 bucks. Let's go ahead and buy the inner tie rod, 30 bucks. Cheap parts here at Route 66 Auto. All right, getting back underneath the car. Switch this into build mode, and let's go ahead and add the new parts. All right, in goes the inner tie rod, 100%, ba-bam. Now the outer tie rod, let's put that in at 100%. Screw this little thing in, and there we go. We're all done on this side. Tell you what, we're even gonna put back this tire. Got some new fresh bolts we're gonna put in so they're not stuck anymore. And there we go. All right, next thing on the list is this rear sway bar link. So So we're going to add that to the shopping list. Let's go ahead and take this wheel off. All right, this wheel is coming off nicely. Let's get back in here and see if we can't get to this little piece kind of stuck back in there. There it is, sway bar rear end link. Let's go ahead and take that off. All right, there we go. And back to the computer. Boy, I really wish I had bought that tablet before we started this job. There it is, 26 bucks for the sway bar rear end link. Let's go ahead and buy that. All right, back underneath the car. Put this in build mode and let's replace this part here. Sway bar rear end link, 100% replaced. Screw it in. There we go. Let's put the tire back on. Got some fresh bolts on this one too. I mean, it's a free service here at Route 66 Auto. You get free nuts. I mean, just saying. All right, there it is. The car is done. Let's put her back down and get her back out to the customer who's been patiently waiting in the waiting room. I'm not sure where the waiting room is, but I'm sure we have free coffee and snacks, because that's the way we do it here at Route 66 Auto. All right, car status is done. Let's go ahead and finish the job. Well, there it is, 114 bucks there for that job. It's all complete. And now it's time to go start the next project, which is a mission storyline car, however you want to say it. And here it is, a little Mini Cooper. And you know what we're going to do. We're going to start by examining the whole car and getting that free experience points. Tell you what, examining this car is going to put us well over 200 experience points, and that is pretty cool. And the other benefit of doing this is you're going to identify some parts maybe that are hidden that need to be replaced. I mean, who knows? Just hold down the button and let the computer do all the work. Don't forget the air intake box. Always a couple points there. All right, moving to the back, side suspensions, middle suspensions. We're going to do all of it. We are well on our way to level 3, and I'd imagine we're going to hit it while we're doing the repairs on this car. All right, we're all done with examination mode. Let's go ahead and move this car into the garage. All right, here it is. What a cool car, the Mini Cooper. Another hot hatch. I would put this in the category of a hot hatch. Very cool little car, fun to zip around in. All right, and this car has got some issues. We got to replace some brakes, the cam shafts. I mean, there's a bunch of bushings. And then if you take a look, there's 4 parts down there that have not been discovered. So we're going to have to inspect this car fully, figure out what those parts are, and get them changed. All right, we're going to go ahead and start marking these parts. I'm not going to mark the brake pads because, you know, we all know where the brake pads are. I'm going to see which rubber bushings need to be replaced. There's like 50 rubber bushings, it seems like, on every car. And we're going to figure out what these parts are. It's a pretty hefty task here. Let's get into it. All right, coming over to the toolbox, we've got some cash. Let's go ahead and buy this tablet. It costs us 500 bucks, well worth it. From a convenience standpoint. There we go, but bam, tablet in hand. Now we don't have to walk over to the computer the whole time. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and check on these brakes. All right, taking off these brake calipers. They look okay, but these brake pads look pretty crappy. I tell you what, this brake disc ventilated doesn't look good either. Let's take that off. I guess it's 27%. I mean, pretty sure they could use a new one, so we're just gonna buy them a new one. All right, now we're gonna go to our tablet. I added all this stuff. All right, one thing I forgot to do is clear away the shopping list. Let's go into the tablet. And I didn't add the brake parts to the shopping list, but they're easy to find. You just kind of scroll over to the brake stuff. There's a caliper. I'm sure we're gonna need one of those soon. Brake disc ventilated, we need that. We're gonna take one of those. And brake pads. Gonna need that. All right, let's go ahead and put these brakes back together here. Got a new disc, got some new pads, and we'll put that same caliper on there. It's doing pretty good. All right, not gonna put the wheel on yet. Let's go ahead and do this other side. Oh, already you can see through the wheel that disc is sucking ass. Wow, look at that thing. I mean, that's a mess right there. Let's go ahead and add that to the shopping list. Brake calipers, we're gonna add all this stuff to the shopping list because we forgot to do it on the other side. There's some brake pads. You know they're gonna need those. They look like crap too. All right, going into the tablet. Here's where we just were. Brake disc ventilator, we're gonna buy one of those. Brake pads, we're gonna buy some of those. And didn't need a new caliper on this side. All right, let's go ahead and put these new parts back on. All right, disc, now the pads. And here is the caliper. Caliper's looking pretty good. All right, that's the front brakes done. Now let's move on to the rear. All right, here we go. Rear brakes looking pretty good, actually. Let's take off the brake caliper, see how the pads are doing. Oh boy, wow, oh my God. I mean, it's a wonder they could even stop the car. These brake pads suck. And look, you can see the highlighted blue things. One of them's right here. It's a rubber bushing. We're going to add that to the shopping list. I see one's on the other side over here. So we got 2 rubber bushings that are bad over here. We're going to go ahead and check all the rubber bushings back here. First things first, let's buy some new brake pads for the back. I tell you what, while we're in here, let's go ahead and buy rubber bushings. We know we're going to need 4 of them. And I don't know how many other ones we're going to find that are bad. Usually if there's a couple on the list that are bad, there's more that haven't been discovered yet, but we're going to leave it at 4 for now. We'll just buy those. We don't want to be wasting our money this early on in our franchise. All right, putting some new brake pads back on, and we'll reset these calipers. And this is where the game gets kind of fun, because you can, if you got some OCD going on, you can go around the car, do all the brakes first, and then get into the suspension. Or you can say, hey, look, while I'm here, I'm just going to replace these bushings. And that's what we're going to do. There's a rubber bushing. Let's take it out. And now, since we bought a new one, let's go ahead and put the new one back in. All right, there's 1 rubber bushing replaced. All right, getting more into I think there's here's another rubber bushing. There's like 6 of them in the rear. So here's one. We're just going to have to take it out and look at it. All right, that rubber bushing is good. It's 83%, it said. So let's go ahead and put it back. All right, we're replacing it with a brand new one. Another rubber bushing right here. Let's go ahead and take that out and inspect it. And that one's at 81%, so that one's pretty good too. Let's put it back. All right, we're going to move around to the other side. There's another bushing over here that we need to fix. Then take the wheel off, check out the brakes, check out the bushings. All right, this caliper looks okay. It looks like the pad underneath is a hunk of crap. Yeah, this is going to need to be replaced. And this disc looks pretty good. All right, buying a brake pad. God, thank God we got that tablet. I tell you, it's going to save a lot of time having to run back and forth to the computer. Let's put that brake pad back on 100%. Put the caliper back on. That's doing pretty good there. No need to replace that. All right, now we're under the car and there's a highlighted blue item. It's a rubber bushing that's bad. We're gonna have to take this off. Let's replace it with one of the ones that we bought. There we go, putting a brand new one in there. Screw that one in, that's done. All right, let's check out these other rubber bushings here while we're in here. I mean, it never hurts. You got to take a look at them. Nope, that one's fine, 78%. Pull this one out. And that one's good at 85%. So let's put these back. All right, here we go, and 78%. We'll put that one back there. All right, rubber bushings are all checked here. And let's go ahead up to the front of the car. And I guess we're going to jack this thing up, see if there's any more suspension parts we can replace underneath of here. All right, taking a look here, it looks like we have replaced the discs, the pads that needed to be replaced. We've also replaced 2 rubber bushings in the back, so it looks like there's 2 more that need to be replaced in the front. Some spark plugs. Let's go ahead and find the rubber bushings in the front. And it looks like everything else is going to be in the engine, except that pesky oil filter. Those oil filters are always accessible from the bottom. All right, let's go ahead to our tablet. We're buying a new oil filter. There it is, but bam. Let's pop that baby right back on there, so that's taken care of. All right, you can see these 2 highlighted blue items, the bushings back here. Let's go ahead and replace those. All right, rubber bushing number 1. Let's take this bad boy out. Here we go, and that's going to need to be replaced. Let's go ahead and replace it. Good thing we already bought 4 of these. All right, so there's a new one. And here's the second one. Take this one out and put the new one in. All right, so all of the rubber bushings that need to be replaced have been replaced. Let's go and take a look at some other rubber bushings up here. There's some in this control arm, or whatever this piece is called here, the lower suspension arm. Let's go ahead and take this out. We can check out the rubber bushings that are in this thing. Unscrew it, and once you take it off, you just got to put it back on again. And when you're putting it back on, you'll see rubber bushing good, rubber bushing good. Okay, let's put it back on. No rubber bushings in there that need to be replaced. While we're on this side, we'll swing around to the front. Here's some more rubber bushings. Easy thing to check. Take this one out, and that one's at 81%, so no issue there. All right, let's go ahead and put it back in. All right, coming over to this side, here's a rubber bushing right here. Let's go ahead and take this one out, see how that one's doing. And that one's good, 84%. Let's put it back. And it looks like we just made it up to level 3, which is pretty exciting. It's going to give us another skill point to use. All right, so we've checked all the rubber bushings. There really isn't anything else under here that we're going to get to right now. Let's dive into this engine and replace the mechanical parts in there. All right, a belt tensioner, cam gears, camshaft, rollers, ignition coil. We got the oil filter. Let's unmark that. We got these other rubber bushings taken care of. Let's unmark that. We got a serpentine belt. Oh look, spark plug, spark plug. So it looks like we figured out what the missing pieces were. And I don't know how exactly we did that. I'm assuming it's these spark plugs. Maybe we looked at them when we were underneath the car. I'm not sure, but hey, that's great for us. So now we know exactly what we need to fix. Let's get into this engine and fix it. All right, a lot of these blue highlighted pieces are in this engine. We're just gonna have to start taking it apart from the top, starting with these ignition coils. Now we know we're gonna have to replace at least one of these. So we're gonna add that to our shopping list as we take this apart. That one's at 39%. That one's 82%, pretty good. That one's 82%. And that one's 82%. So it looks like the one down here needed to be replaced. And while we're here, we're going to go into our tablet and buy the piece. Now the ignition coils are under electronics. Here we go, ignition coil, 60 bucks. Let's buy one. All right, so we know we got that piece. All right, taking off the engine head cover so we can get to the spark plugs and the inner workings here. Oh wow, you can see right there, this camshaft is all rusted out. We're going to need to replace that. Let's go ahead and get in here to these spark plugs. All right, that spark plug's 31%. That's probably going to need to be replaced. Here's one that's pretty good at 81%. 28%, that's probably going to need to be replaced. And here's the last one, 83%. So going to need a couple new spark plugs. Spark plugs also under the electronics section. And of course, I didn't add them to the shopping list. All right, spark plugs aren't going to be too hard to find here. It starts with an S, and there it is, spark plugs. They're $6 a piece. I tell you what, let's just buy 4 of them. And one of the things we do here at Route 66 Auto, we're just going to replace all the spark plugs while we're in there. It's a free service. Pretty sure the customer's going to be happy with it. All right, we got to get this camshaft out of here. We're taking off these, I guess they're called camshaft caps. I mean, that makes sense. Got 4 of these to take off. And here's the last one right here. All right, now there's the camshaft. Now we can't take the camshaft out until we open up some of the side things. But we also need to replace some of the stuff on the side anyway. Well, let's go ahead and get over here. And we got this timing cover. Oh, look, here we go. The crankshaft pulley's got to come off. And then this is highlighted red, the belt, the serpentine belt. Then we got the idle roller. You can see all the stuff that's highlighted blue up there. Let's go ahead and get to taking these pieces off here. Idle roller's coming off. Next thing is this serpentine belt. And we got the crankshaft pulley. All right, timing covers next. Unscrew that thing. Here's the inner workings, and you can see all that rusty kind of stuff in there. We're gonna have to change all this out. All right, idle roller added to the shopping list. Belt tensioner added to the shopping list. Serpentine belt added to the shopping list. Cam gear added to the shopping list. All that stuff's gonna go. Let's take it off and replace it. All right, belt tensioner, idle roller. Oh, take off the serpentine belt. Take off the idle roller. Now we're taking off this cam gear here. All right, now I think we can take the camshaft out. Nope, we can't. We got to undo some stuff on the other side. Let's go ahead and flip around and take this stuff off. And when you're dealing with these parts in the middle of the engine, a lot of stuff has to come off in order for you to get these pieces out. Here we go. I think now once we take this off, all right, we can take this camshaft out. First, let's add it to the shopping list, and now we'll take it out. All right, camshaft's out. Let's go ahead into the tablet and buy some stuff. All right, let's buy a camshaft, 250 bucks, wow. Hopefully we can upcharge that to the customer. I mean, don't tell them. Shh, quiet, it's our little secret. All right, we gotta buy the cam gear, it's 130, but this is gonna be an expensive job, I feel like. I think we're gonna make some money here. Serpentine belt, 35 bucks. The belt tensioner, here we go, it's another 35 bucks. The idle roller, 20 bucks. And I'm pretty sure that's all we needed to buy right now. All right, check the car status. We need the belt tensioner. I think we got that. We got the cam gear, the camshaft, the idle roller, the ignition coil. We bought all that stuff. We bought the serpentine belt and the spark plugs. We are good to start putting this thing back together. We can make that money. First in is the camshaft. All right, put that cam gear back on. Now we can put this cover back on. Screw it in. Nothing wrong with a good screw. At least that's what I've heard. All right, coming back on the other side here. A brand new cam gear. Boy, this customer's gonna be really happy. All right, now we go back to the idle roller. All right, there we go. New idle roller, new serpentine belt. Very, very important there, the serpentine belt. Belt tensioner, brand new. We can put this cover back on. Hey, screw it in. These are long screws, and there ain't nothing wrong with a long screw. I mean, at least that's what I've heard. Okay, crankshaft pulley, putting these parts back on. And I believe once we get this stuff back together, we can go back up to the engine, put in the pieces and parts. I think we're done over here. Let's go back up top, put the new spark plugs in. All right, we got brand new spark plugs all across the board. And we're not even gonna charge the customer extra, because that's the way we roll here at Route 66 Auto. Let's go ahead and put these camshaft caps back on. All right, here we go. We're getting it done. Some of this is a little tedious, but that is the life we chose to live when we chose to be a car mechanic. All right, putting that cover on, screw it down, and we're gonna get to those ignition coils. All right, ignition coil number 1 going in. That was the bad one. Replacing it with a brand new one. And here's the other one's 82%. That's pretty good. This one was 82%. I believe the other one was 82%. There we go. Wow. All right, taking a look at the car status, we can unmark all of these, and we are all finished this job. Go ahead and close up the hood, put her down off the lip. Oh, you know what? Oh, I almost tried to give it back to the customer with no wheels. Got to put the wheels back on. All right, first wheel going on. Man, boy, that customer would have been pissed. I'll tell you what, another important thing about the wheels when you're putting them back on, make sure you're putting the right sizes on the front and the rear, because sometimes this game will trip you up a little bit, and they have different size tires on the front versus the rear. Sometimes they're a little wider in the back or the front. All these tires are the same size, so we don't have to worry about it, but just something to look out for when you're playing this game. Because if you're just willy-nilly throwing tires around, you're going to end up trying to give a car back, and it's going to tell you that you got your sizes mixed up, and then you got to take all the wheels off and do it all over again. Nobody wants to do that. Man, last wheel going on. This is exciting. This job is going to be complete. We are going to get some cash. There it is. All the wheels are on. Put the car down, and here we go. Let's finish it up. Oh, man, you know what? I forgot. We got to change the oil and then change the fluids. Oh, boy, I totally forgot. I thought we were done, but we're not. All right, well, car goes back up. Jeez, what am I doing? I mean, that is a rookie mistake if I've ever seen one. All right, oil changer. Let's do it. My God, I was so excited to get done and get paid. It's all right. It's only a couple more minutes. Drain that oil out. Put this thing back. All right, we can lower the car back down again. All right, put the oil back in. Clean oil going in, and boy, doesn't the car love that. Oh, man. All right, oil is filled. Brake fluid, coolant fluid, power steering, and washer. And we have to drain the old and refill the new, except for the windshield washer fluid. So we're going to start back here with the brake fluid. And let's go to our little drain tool. There we go, sucking out the milkshake. And let's put the new stuff in there. All right, brake fluid has been changed. Now let's go power steering, drain it out. Oh, there we go, it's the strawberry milkshake. Now we're gonna refill it. All right, almost full, there we go. Put the cap back on. Tell you what, while we're here, let's go ahead with the windshield washer fluid. Always fun to fill this up. All right, and now for the coolant. All right, there we go, it's the green, it's the Shamrock Shake. All right, putting in the new coolant. All right, almost filled up for you. There it is, coolant filled up. We should be all done now. Let's go ahead and close the hood, check our car status, and look at this. The job is finished. There it is, ba-bam. Job is finished, the car is gone. We now have 5,763 credits, and that is awesome. We did get a chance to buy the tablet. Now let's go over here to the toolbox. And we've got a skill point to use. And I tell you what, we're going to go with the Renovator skill point, because we're really going to want to start building up this column so that we can start getting some junker cars and renovating them. So there it is. One level of the Renovator perk is done, and that is awesome. All right, there are more tools we can buy here. We can afford like the compression testers and the tire tread gauges. They're pretty cheap, but we are saving our money to get the welder And we also want to get the car wash, and we're going to do that probably once we get around level 5, because we can start going to the junkyard at level 5, getting our little junkers, bringing it back here, washing them, welding them, and flipping them. And that is our first goal of the series. All right, speaking of goals of the series, let's go ahead and take some more jobs, and we'll set ourselves up for the next episode. Here's the next story mission.
Good morning. Hello, young man. Please help me. I set off on a ride and my car stopped working. It just shut down suddenly. Fortunately, some good young men towed me to your workshop. If it weren't for them, well, I'd rather not go into it. Please see what you can do to get it up and running again. I have no idea what could have happened. Thanks for setting up a workshop here in the middle of nowhere. And in the meantime, please allow me to use the restroom. I'll see you soon.
All right, so we got a customer whose car died. They're going to wait in the restroom. Had a good experience with some strapping young men. I mean, I don't know. Look, I'm not implying anything here. I'm not asking any questions. But that customer is now in the restroom. Hopefully they're not doing a poop. All right, the other thing we got to do on the car, aside from fixing it and getting it running again, we got to change the oil. So this is going to be a tall task. It's going to require us to go into the engine. We're probably going to have to do a lot of stuff with it. It's going to take a lot of time. And here's another mission. And this is an Tuto Lavine, whatever that is. Kind of looks like an Alpha 4C. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to accept this mission to get us some extra money. Got running gear control and sloppy car steering. So there we go. What a cool car, man. I love this. It looks like an Alfa Romeo 4C. I'm pretty sure that's what it's based on. And that is awesome. Look at this. And here is our next story mission, the Valsen 2040. And we are going to get into this also. We're going to accept this mission. Bam, there it is. An old Volvo. It is not working anymore. The customer's in the bathroom taking a poop. And that is where we're going to end the episode. I want to thank you guys for sticking around. Thanks for watching the video. And in the next episode, we're going to come back. We're going to make some money with this little 4C. We're going to fix up this customer's Volvo. Hopefully they're done taking a poop by the time we get done. I mean, I'm just saying. And we are going to do some other stuff too. So stick around. Come on back. We are on our way to level 5 and on our way to going to the junkyard, buying some junkers, flipping them around, and ultimately looking to find and purchase a cool car to restore and keep for ourselves. And that's the goal of this series. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching the video. And most importantly, thank you guys for letting me be a part of your day. It means a lot. And we'll see you right back here in the next video.